Hello future tech leaders, I am Sindhuja. Based on my own experience, I know that learning the right skills can shape our future. What if I say learning was as thrilled as the tech world itself? There we go. A cloud foundation, that's exactly what you will experience. From day one, you will be immersed in the interactive sessions and expert-led courses that covers most of the widely used technologies in the zone of data science to cloud computing, which brings more light to the life of a techie. I'm so excited to help you and unlock the true potential of a technology. Well, then why to wait? Let's see what it unfolds.
It will take you to the login page and you'll have a username and password for it. You just need to click on login. Just like how you log into Facebook or something like that, right? So basically ask them to give me all the access, right? So this will be a home page. So here today, I'm just going to give you an overview of what is your channel like. So on blah blah, how it is okay, how to search an employee, how this application works. Okay. So this is our home page. So like once you log in, this is where you'll be landing. So the first item, we need to go like the setup and everything. You'll start at 4 or 5 sessions. After you get it, we'll go into the functionalities. First, let's see like, this is about how we search an employee application. If you click start, it will give you the full list of employees who is available in the system. And it will give you the total count here, like full employee list. So here, yeah. So it will show all the it's like. Select, so it will give you a full list of employees here. And you can expand it by clicking this. This will give you the full expansion of this. And then here we have like this particular profile will give you the name ID and what labor account they are in. This is just a detail. And here currently we have around 62 employees. This is just a test instance. So like the employees are like loaded from our end. So we have only 62 people here. So the options here are like we have a search box and we have a like. We have a column selection. Currently this is 1, 3. If you want to reduce the column, you can reduce it like that. And you can also use a filter to filter out. Like I need only this employee. Similar to what we have here. We can add based on each ID, name or labor account. Whatever it is okay. And this particular item is called a quick find. There are different items like this. This is quick find where we search through the search box. There are other items like employee somebody, but if you see here there are n number of items. Each will have different columns to display. So here we have name, ID and labor account. If you select maybe, an example. I'm giving just an example. There are different items. This will give a different like columns along with the person. Similarly, if I said like maybe, batch 5 total hours needs. Currently no one is there. Let me select. Why do I see limited items? There should be more. One sec. Give me a minute. Yes. So this is another hyperlink which is approvals. This will give you details like how many people are approved. It's just a look and feel based on each of the items. Like similar to Quick Find. Quick Find is a default one. Others are created by maybe the other trainees or whoever has worked on it. So that's the reason those are not proper. We'll create a proper one so that it looks like a correct one. So what we can do is, in that we can select our own columns, what columns we need. Similar to a name, ID and primary account. You can select different columns just to have a proper look into that. So this is the basic item which we'll be using. And here, once you get access, you can just maybe select an employee and click on people and click on edit. So what this does is, from here, if you select the people and click on edit, click on people and click on edit, it will take you to a tab called people editor. This is actually where you need to go to. So here it will give you details of all his personality items. Like when the employee was hired, what is his username, whether he's active or not. All the items will be here. So example first item is general information. Here we'll have the employee's last name, first name. What is his ID? When is his birth date? When he was hired? From when date he is active? And here accrues and leave means. What is his leave policy? Based on his leave policy, only number of leaves for a year, how many vacations, how many sick will be determined. So what leave policy he is in? So it's full of personal details, everything into that. If you want to go through each and every item to have overview, once you get an access, you can go through it. User information is again. It will have the username and password to log in. Today, we'll just have overview of all these personality fields and a quick intro how we navigate through promos. So we went through general information, accruals and user information. These are self-explanatory. Just you need to get a grip on what field is available under what section. So general information has employee's name, hire date and ID. Accruals will have what leave policy he is attached to. How many leaves he is eligible for. When you're talking, the voice at my end it breaks a little bit. Is there a way to fix it? I'm receiving an echo from your end. We have gone through 3 items. The next item you need to go through is, again this person will have the same details like when he's hired. What is his bank withdrawal reference rate? These are full of dates. This is all in the person tab. Then you need to click on Job Assignment tab to see more items. Here in Job Assignment tab, we'll have multiple items. First is primary account. This will determine which department he is into. What is the sub-department? We can have up to 7 values here. These 7 values, we have made it as company, region, division, department, facility, call center, and what job he's in. each item you need to choose one. Each value corresponds to something like maybe Adidas Cognizant when Hannolu 1. It belongs to Cave something. Just an example. We have multiple values here. In a proper organization, they will have a proper structure for it. Upon choosing company, we have region. Which region is, whether it's North America or Europe or Asia. Which region that we need to choose. Under region, we need to choose what division he's into. Like the division department, all this stuff, would it be already built in? They already have separated those and already in the system. I have to create division department and then add it to the actual employee. Mostly in the live environment. This will be created during initial implementation. If there is anything needed to be added, we need to create it. If it's a new project, I have to create everything right. In the later session, I'll show you where each item is there and how we create it. That's about this primary. Then again, we will have our time zone. What time zone the employees sit. So that when he swipes in or clocks out, proper timing is updated to his time card. Based on his location. This is where we need to choose his time zone and again the reports to refer to his manager whom he is reporting to. And again, the next item is we are here to timekeeper. So this timekeeper is a place where we define what payroll he is in. So payroll refers to how his hours are calculated, mostly for hourly employees. So if an employee works for 8 hours, how much hours out of that would be regular? Beyond which hours it will be paid as overtime. And at what rate of overtime? Whether it's a double time or it's 1.5 rate or 2.5 rate, whatever it is. And how a holiday hour should be paid. How an employee should be paid when he works on weekend. So these different combinations are determined using payroll. So it will be different for each state and each set of employees. So under this payroll we define it. So here we are just selecting the payrolls whichever we have created. These leaves payrolls. Everything is created under in setup. So that's the core configuration which we will be going through in later sessions. I'm just giving you overview where it is mapped for an employee. So all these options, like the job assignment option, we're going through just under 1%. So every person will have these job assignment options, right? Yes. And again, access profile. This is what defines it. What access an employer should have. Whether he's a super user or whether he's just an employee or whether he's a manager. How much access he can have. What would be his home screen? Or like, what are the functionalities the employee has access to? That is defined through these two items, display profile and function access. So others are generic items, but these two define the limitation and how much the employee can have access in the system. And next item, which is here, is employer role. So this determines how the employee's time card look like. Here hourly view. We will have hourly view. We will have a project view. we have a timestamp and hourly view. So it depends on what type of employee we are going to use, and for that employee what time card is needed. If he's an hourly employee, we'll go either hourly or timestamp hourly. If he's a salaried employee, we'll go with the project. Oh, how do you know salaries employees would be project view? Salary to employee. They don't need to clock in and clock out, right? They'll get a fixed pay. Yeah. They're not going to watch their time. They just need to enter the hours. That's the reason we give them a project view. Oh, is it like a standard practice for all companies? They would say project views. Oh, that is more or less about the person. Next item is how we navigate to employees' time card. Most important item where we see the time is voucher. Okay, for that again you need to click on go to. You can double click on it. It will take you to the time card. The proper way is click on go to and select time card. So this will give you the employee's time card for a particular week. You can select whatever the dates you want. I'm just selecting a current paper, which is this week. So this is how the time card will look like. So when employees clock in and clock out, the in and out points will be stored. For example, employees clock in at 9 am and leave the office at 5 pm. He will be either punching in and punching out through badges or through fingerprint or through an ID card. There will be a physical device in this office entrance and exit where he needs to punch in and punch out. Either way, it will be transferred back to the system and his time for punching in and punching out will be stored. So when do we have to check this time card? Before somebody runs the payroll. This is more or less. We will not be checking it. Only the managers will be checking it. We need to know about this to test our functionalities. Okay? Or when there is an issue that implies that my punches are not loading in time card, then we need to check it out. So, with the payroll prospect, who needs to know is the manager, not us. So they see what I am seeing right now. They will see that too, the managers. But if somebody is a salary, right? Yeah, so they're clocking or clock out. It will not be captured. I'll show you. Oh, it will not be captured. So this in the bottom will get our total, asked how much hours the employee has worked in. So it will give you the details. Under what are the course the employee is getting paid. Okay, so what wages he's getting. These items will be there. How many hours have been calculated properly based on that. So on. So our details will be here and also how many leave balance as of current date. Like this is test system. So we have given what number of hours needed. So he has around 694 hours. So this number of hours you can take leave. This is an example. Normally it will be 160 or 80 something like that. So this gives the details of how much balance the employee has and how much he can take. So, and if he wants to take a leave, what he needs to do is he needs to come, select a particular date where he needs to take a leave. And then he needs to choose a particular pay code there. Like that will be communicated to the employee what pay code he should be using. Okay, example vacation. And he needs to select this pay code. Also, we have to create right. Yeah, mostly it will be done. System. Few items. If there's a new record, one we need to create. I'll show you how we create it. Okay. So once he saves it, he will be eligible for particular vacation. Okay, so this is just a small overview of how the time card would be and what options we have. And if a manager wants to approve his time card, he can see these items, review it, and then click on approve. Or if you want to revert back to approve time card, you can click on remove time card approval. And then here we have a sign off and remove sign off. This is kind of second level of approval. This is what the employees or the payroll administrator need to do before running the payroll. Only signed off pay cards like your time cards, data will be pulled into the payroll. So this is like a second level of approval. So and then view is like we have only like we can see like this will be a full view. And if you want to see days only with exception. Exception means like the time card employee has some issues like whether he has come late to the office or whether the employee is absent for a particular day. Only those items will be visible to you. Just to review it. This is like a full view. Normally, whatever everything is there will be available to you. This is the place where you select the time period. What time period we need to select, whether it's a previous pay period, current or week to date, last week, yesterday, today or any custom date range using this calendar. Whatever the date you want, you can navigate it. Review that particular date and you can select a particular date. And you can select a particular end date. And that full time period time card will be visible to you. So we have seen how an employee's personality data looks like and how an employee's time card looks like. This is how we navigate to these two. To navigate to people editor, you need to click on an employee, select people and edit. To go to time card, you need to select an employee. Click on go to and time card. So these are like a daily use, right? Like we have to know how to navigate. And the next item is again same thing. You need to click on employee, click on schedules. So this is another thing. It's a quick intro, like what shift an employee is in. So here for each day, in a live environment, in a working environment, the employee will have his shifts. What shift is that? As to 9 am to 5 am to 10 pm or 11 pm to 6 am. Night shift, whatever it is, okay. So how do you need to add a shift? Is you need to right click on the day, click on add shift. And you need to select the timing. What is the start time? Example 9 am and here he is leaving by 5 pm. So these schedules are like, let's say, we're inputting for this employee. So without this time, if he tries to log in, it's not going to work. It will work. It will work. But in some places, if we want, we can restrict it. It's not allowing me to write some issue for this employee. So we might select a different one. Someone has added something else. And what I'm seeing right now, is it like an actual project? No, this is just a test end problem, okay? So this is how the look and feel everything would be. But the data would be different. Mostly the employees will be coming in the line of problems. So now the employee would be assigned to the schedule. So from here also we can again navigate to time card, people and everything. These items will be available for generic in all places. This go to button. You can use this go to button again and we can navigate to this guy's time card. So if you see here this employee in the schedule column, as soon as we added a shift, it will come here. So now we can log in and log out. The purpose of schedule is before that in these rows we don't have any exception. But if you see here we have a red mark here stating unexcused assets. That means the employee is scheduled to work on that day, but he is absent. So the manager will be able to see it. How did you come here? What was the last? Just you need to click on go to. Oh, okay, go to. Yeah, go to is the item to navigate within different windows. Okay. So this will help the manager to review whenever he is having some exception. In this case, you can use like this so that it will show him what are the days that time card has issued. Right. So that is the reason they are putting up the schedules. Now that also time will be registered. But this gives him, a manager, a privilege to review bulk of employees. Who has issues? Who is fine with what? Like that. So I have given PM. Oh, is that why? Yeah, I did consider it will be that shift. I'm going to name to 5 PM. Right now, it will accept whatever the punches I do. We haven't restricted anything. The employee can come in and work at any time. Right? That's how it is. Example, and what happened in the real-time system when having a particular schedule is if the employee misses to punch in and directly punch out. So, like one or the other day, the employee might miss to do it. At that time, he might have swiped it wrongly. So this will again give the manager, if he has a schedule, another exception. So the employee has missed his punch. Okay, so these details, the manager will be able to review and fix it out. So that is the primary reason why we have a schedule properly. So these are the 3 items which we are just covering today. Like I just don't want to overload on the start of the session. Just an indication. So once you get an access, go through these items and just see and set up. What are the items available? What are the subtopics under each? Mainly on these items. So I'll just give you the accruals. Just go through what items you have in that and then pay policies. Here is where we'll create the pay codes and the pay routes. Just go through pay policies and accruals and set up. Once they give me access, I can practice or go through it anytime, or I have to do it while you're online. No, you can go through it anytime. Just don't make any existing change. Whatever is there, just create new ones. Don't make any changes. Right now, I'm not sure whether you'll be able to create anything within the setup, but navigation wise, you can go through any items. You can create schedules. You can try to land in Congress to an existing employee. That's fine. Any existing employee, I can play around, or is it like specific employees? No, it's not like that. You can pick, maybe just select, maybe any randomly 3 or 4 employees and play with it. Oh, another item is here. There is an option of help. So, if you click on this plus icon, it will give you an option to manage my department. Here again, you'll have the n number of sub-items here, and one out of it is help. Okay, this is the area which you'll be using it primarily for next 2-3 days. When I'm not available, you can go through these items. This will have a bulk of subtopics. This is from Get Started. And then again, how do I what is like maybe activities is not needed to you. You can focus more on scheduling. Timekeeping. Timekeep is what you need to focus more on. Timekeeping is what has to be course, pay rules and everything. Rules and everything. Employees of service. So during the interview, like it's majority, like I mean to crack an interview right. With whatever I learned is majority from like time card, accruals and stuff. That's the basic item. Like there are around 25 models within Kronos. But all the system extensively use 3 models, which is timekeeping, accruals and integration. So integration is something in a third party too. But within the system, the 2 models which will be used by all the companies with the time, like accruals and timekeeping. Okay, so more than this timekeeping, you need to be aware of the next one, which is timekeeping setup. This is how we build a timekeeper. How we build a pay code. How we use the accruals. This item you need to go through, okay, in the help. You don't need to go through any other items that you can do later. But timekeeping setup, whatever the sub items are there, please go through it. Again, this is accruals will have a few other sub items. And when you come here, example, it might look like only this much, but you need to click on it. It will expand and it will give you more data. So you know for like accruals, right? Every company has their own policy, right? So I would. If I need to set up an accruals for an employee, I need to know what their policies are. Yeah, they will give you the details. Okay. Based on that, we'll create it. Maybe next session, I'll give you a few more intros on a few other items. And then we'll start with the pay policy and then we'll do accruals. Let's say this is like a UKG platform. But then let's say my client is, for example, ADP, right, or something, right? Okay. So they will have their own profile under this UKG platform. For I'm just trying to understand, how would it look when I log in? Would it be? It would again look like UKG only. There is no change in that. Okay, maybe their company name would be like a little bit somewhere visible. But it's a UKG. Kronos is UKG Ultimate Kronos Group. That will not change. This will be the same look and feel you'll have. Maybe a few items would be like a little bit different. That's it. So you need to go through pay policies and accruals on the weekends. And when we connect back, I'll go. Like this will have an extensive proper whatever you need to know about it. Like a prerequisite to learn Kronos. Every item, everything will be detailed. Okay, you can see here. It would be. This is a place you need to look for the definitions to crack it into. Okay. All the details will be here. So please go through the timekeeping setup, specifically pay policies and accruals. It's under timekeeping setup, not timekeeping setup. Okay. This is more of what we have on the first session. Like I don't want to give more items. You just get the access and play around for maybe 2-3 days. Then we'll connect back. And we'll go through the one more intro session and a few other items. Whichever I have missed out. Like we have various items here. And in the setup. So I'll give you an overview of what setup is, how we use it. And then probably we'll start in the next session on the setting up pay policies, pay codes, and other stuff. That is the major part because this is the model which will give you more time since it has more sub-items. Maybe it will take almost a week or more than that to cover up pay policies, and then we'll just start with the other items, like what access profile is about, what we have in common setup. So the major chunk of this course will be covered in pay policies and accruals. So this is like a foundation for promos. Like in a perspective that you need to land in a promos job. This accruals and pay policies is the area you need to have a thorough knowledge. And then you need to have a good overview on access profiles, common setup, organization setup, and a little bit of system configuration and scheduling setup. This contributes to basic promos modules. So we'll start with pay policies, then go to accruals, and then we'll touch base the other modules. So without pay policies, you will not understand any other modules. This is the first and foremost foundation. Without pay policies, accruals will not work. So I'll start with this and then we'll give you an overview about each and every item. And finally, do not forget to like, share and subscribe to our channel.